So first of all, thank you for your invitation, and I'm really happy that I can join this group and talk a little bit about Polish forest fires and what we are doing. It's kind hard for me because I have totally free hands from the organizer to talk about what I want, and it's hard to fit all of this information in a half hour. So I decided just to make an overview in a half hour what we are doing in a state forest in case of forest fire prevention, just to try interest you in some our solutions or problems or vision. And maybe in the future on during discussion you will show me what's more interesting for you, and maybe for next meeting I will prepare something more special, more focus on something, because on every single slide which I will show you, I can spend 2 more hours to talk about that, like go deeper and deeper. So first of all, just to be sure that you know, I'm a forester. I'm not a firefighter. Uh, I work in General Directorate of State Forest in Warsaw, so I'm a forester in a capital city of big country. So I mostly make regulation, rules, laws, reports, some kind of this stuff, but I try to be as much as possible in a field and uh, do just a practical activity in any possible way. So I try to have at least two phases in my work and try to make a good solution for practice and take the best from practice to the regulations. So when I wanna start with introduction, I just wanna say you that we really are a fire country, because I'm in this European expert group of forest fire where all countries report about fires, and through all the years in statistics, we are in the third place in terms of number of fires in Europe, just after Portugal and Spain. Uh, we have like few, but big few thousand of fires every year, but quite small size of burnt area in total. And that's our specific. It means in Poland we have a lot of fires, but small one. So our fires looks more like the left picture than the right. And to explain this, I just wanna talk you a little bit more about our forest. Uh, and I don't have in this presentation the full context of historical fire in Poland, but it's kind of my research interest, and I will publish soon the paper about forest fire history in Poland in a social context, and I try to give you an answer why we have so many fires in Poland, because they are of course anthropogenic fires. But what is important to understand first, like we are flat area, like we have mountains, but our mountains are not really fire problem because we have a lot of rain there, a lot of snow still. We have humid soil, we have different species. So the biggest problem is on the lowlands. It's a totally flat area. Our forest looks like that. They are totally managed. They are quite big, but as you can see, they are totally touched by foresters, by human, because we are going deeper, deeper. We divided forest into the parcels, so they are. It's another wild area. It's totally managed area, managed by a state forest. So every compartment, which you can see here, it's circa about 25 hectares, and we have some subcompartments. So we describe every single piece of forest, and and in case of that, we exactly know what kind of fuel is there, what's the predicted fire behavior for that, and also what kind of timber we will have for this. So this is part of Poland, like another one, and this is part of our forestry map, just to just to show you that it's really manageable land by foresters. So this is the typical Polish forest. I mean, we had some guys from Netherlands in our event forest camp last year and 2 years before, and I think that is this kind of forest when they close their eyes and try to remind the Polish forest. It looks like that. It's the average. Of course, we have older, younger, and a little bit more different. But if I close my eyes and I think about the average Polish forest in case of forest fire, it's like that. So it's a Scott pine, Pinus sylvestris, with a clear trunk, with a clear ground cover. Uh, looks like that, and that's the average fire in average forest. So forest is similar to the previous picture, but this is example of this small fire with over dispatching of sources to extinguish this. Uh, and you see that the area is totally flat and is easy access to fire. And also you can see on the second plan that is even easy access to the skid unit, to the pickup between the trees to go into the forest. So when we report about the forest fires to European Union, in our system, the smallest area is 0.01 hectares, so it's 1 R, and it's just because the in general statistics is this precision to the double points after the dot, because you see we catch the fires on a size like few square meters, because of few reasons, and I will explain for a second. So that's the forest fire in our statistics for sure. It's not a wildfire, but it's uncontrolled combustion process in a place where it's not designated to this. So that's the definition of forest fire in Poland. So even few square meters is a forest fires, of course, because it can be bigger. But because of our detection system, patrolling system, and the easy access, we are able to fight them, kill them as soon as possible. So another picture of typical Polish forest fire, like small one, the smallest, like just some illegal campfire in the middle of forest, and the forester with some tools to extinguish this. So, but it doesn't mean that our forests are not flammable, because you saw the fuels, you saw the continuity of the fuel, and in the past we had a big tragic wildfires, and they are like quite of extreme event, because for example the left one, it's a 5,000 hectares, and the whole fire was just a 5 hour. So the in the fastest period of this fire spread was 1,200 hectares burned per hour, and the right one was the biggest and the deadliest fire in Polish history after World War II. It's 9,000 of hectare, and with two dead casualties and many injuries. So yeah, and there are and our forest is still similar. Of course, we improve a lot, but that was still the pine on the flat area, on the soil, on the sand soil. So it doesn't change too much. But these two fires and few others in 90s was a milestone for us to improve the whole forest fire prevention system, we call that. I mean, it's general all necessary things to prevent the fires, managed by one stakeholder in Poland, state forest, because state forest in Poland covered like 80% of forests, and the big complex. The private owners are in a small parcel somewhere, often they are our neighbors, so by the way, we protect them also. Now I'm in some European project with a PRAF methodology, and when I'm reading this all PRAF guidance about prevention, preparedness, something, I have thought that we already have answer for most of the question since 90s, but I know and I see that it's enough for uh, for present fires, but not for future fires. And I start to see that, but the people like me, we are, I mean, only few people see this problem, that we are ready for this fire, but we are not ready for the future fires. So now I'll just make a fast overview about all these elements. And when you can see here the airplanes or helicopters, they are owned by state forests. So just to explain, so after these big fires in the 90s, average area of single fire in Poland in long term statistic is 0.7 hectare, but last year, for example, was 0.2 hectares. So it's less than a half of football square. To to build this system, we of course assess the risk, but we assess the potential and dynamic risk. So the left map, it's for forest districts, and we establish this category of risk every 10 years together with a forest management plan. It's a chapter of this, and we calculate the risk for a region, for a district exactly, and depends of that, it determines how much infrastructure should be inside. Of course, in the red area, they should be really dense. In a yellow area, the medium risk, uh, it's not necessary to make it so dense. In green area, where we don't have fire problems, it's like our rules always say like it depends. So like to make it simpler, and you can, for example, see that the southeast part of Poland is like totally green, and that's our mountain. So this is for us like not really problematic landscape. And yeah, for example, I travel a lot in a whole country, but I never been there because it wasn't necessary, and we don't have any sign now that something changed in this landscape with in our mountains. And on the right side, you see dynamic hazard. We call that forest fire degree, and we calculate this twice a day for a group of forest districts. We call that zone with the similar with some similarities, and depends of that. I mean, depends of the weather forecast and fuel moisture. We establish the level of readiness for this system. For example, how long the observation should be on that day, on how many people should be on the home readiness to be dispatched to the fire, like that. So to establish this daily risk, we use automated weather points. We have like 160 of them located inside of the forest, and we own them, and we measure 24-hour in 7 days, every 10 minutes, like 30 weather parameters. And of course, the most important, temperature, humidity, and precipitation. The temperature and humidity on few levels, like on the ground, the half meter, 2 meters, something like that. And what's the Polish specific? We also collect manually samples of pine litter to make moisture measurement in a dry weight scale method. And we use for that like 70 points in a country in the same type of forests. to make this method like comparable, and we have experience in that. Like, I don't wanna lie, but it's like 30 years of collection samples of pine litter moisture, and it's just a pine litter. Now in the picture you see just the forester in the bush of blueberry, but it's just a picture. So, but normally we collect the pine litter under the canopy of the trees. And to early detection, we use lookout towers. We have 720 of them. Some of them they are like really old one. They are monumental, like the left one, with a lot of history, and the other types, like the right one, is another example. So many type of them, and we cover the whole country with detection. Uh, Now we have more of them with cameras and artificial intelligence detection of the smoke, but still in some region we have strong dominate of human on the tower just to observe. And from our perspective, it's the person on the tower is much better than the best AI solution, but we just have a problem with employee. Like, they are just hard to find a person who really want to sit 40 meters above the land in a full sun just to observe. So because of that, we go into the modern technique, but all practitioners say that the people were better than the best cameras. But it's yeah, we just need to go to the future. So we also, in every forest district, we have like equipment base. So inside of this we have just a lot of hand tools, like but old one. We are now going to change the equipment, like to put the gurgi there or something like that, because we have like spade the axis, something like that. So we need to change this to like modern tools. But we also have a lot of hoe there, flappers, backpack pumps, and the buckets. And in case of fire, we can take all of that and give it to the forest workers, and even the administrative of forest. Because of the law, they are also can be dispatched to extinguish the fire in the forest. What is the main job of fire service? And every forest district have a skid unit with 400 liters of water in a first red category, or 200 liters in the yellow category. Category is this one which we established for 10 years. And water and some other tools, and it's regulated by law, and it's like an obligation to have this skid unit as a part of preparedness of state forests. So the crew of this is 2 person, full equipment with a PPE. We slowly, not slowly, we change to this. You may know the producer of these clothes, but we go in this direction. In the past, we have like our own Polish red ones, but now after few years of tests, we just decided that this is the best for us. And now we have like thousands of people. They are trained, because to be a part of the squad like that, you have to finish some special training for this. And you can see also our motto. I mean, it's like it's an official motto of our system, and what we are doing, I mean, that we try to detect fire as soon as possible. We try to reach them fast, and try to extinguish this before the firefighters. And our motto is like, one firefighter who arrives at the forest fire in 15 minutes is worth more than 100 after an hour. So for this reason, we send the skid unit as soon as possible. But we don't have a hotshot crews. I mean, even if we have a lot of hand tools, even if we have a trained people with a proper PPE, we don't use a lot of hand tools because for many years we just use the water like I think in the whole Central Europe, like a structural firefighter. So I talk a lot with Netherlands guys, the German guys, Czech guys. So we are in the same place with a tactic of extinguishing forest fires. But we try to slowly change this because we had these hand tools in a base of equipment, but we didn't use them. So now we make a big movement to change this mindset and teach people how to use it. But we don't have a hotshot because you saw that we have a flat land with easy access. So we always love that the Polish hotshot crew is just a tractor with a plow because it's easy to build the fire breaks, and we build a lot of fire breaks. I mean, we build the fire breaks as a part of tactic of extinguish. In a mop-up action, we always make proper fire breaks around the burnt area and in the middle to divide this into the section. But also as a part of prevention, we have many types of fire breaks, many rules of that regulation. But because of short time of the presentation, just overview, I just wanna mention that, and maybe I can use another half hour in the future to talk, for example, about the fire breaks in Poland. We also have fire access roads because when you have a just line in the forest, it's easy to build a road. So the special type of road is a fire access road with a special technical requirements to make the easy and fast access for firefighters. Of course, it's a win-win action because we use the same roads for timber lodging and then transport of a wood. So that's true. But yeah, we have a lot of this kind of roads in the forest. We mark them, the number of roads, they are marked on a tree trunk and later also on the maps. So in one forest district, you have just one road with number 11, so it's easy to find the cross with another number. So it's some kind of good practice from Poland. So that's how it looks like. And I said that we have 53,000 kilometers of this road, but it's not true. It's an old slide. Now we have like a 70,000 kilometers of the fire access road. It's not just a forest fire road. It's this dedicated fire access road in a total. We also we have to build water supply points by the law. We of course use all of natural or existing in a landscape water points with a station to suck the water. But in case if there is no water around, we just build some artificial reservoir or underground cistern to cover all complex of forest by the law. You can see that if we have, for example, just one water point in the whole forest, by the law we need to make a spatial planning of distribution, and every single point cover 5 kilometer radius of land. So it's like that. And in the fact that we don't cover the rest, we just need to build the another one artificial. So and you see the 5 kilometer is for the second category of fire risk. For the first category of risk, so the red district is at 3 kilometers. And we also have the rules. Maybe I will go back for just for a second for these roads. because we also have a law how dense should be the network of these fire access roads for the category of districts, and the law say that every part of forest have to be in a distance of 750 meters to the closest fire access roads. So in the fact, in every 1.5 kilometers there should be the roads like that in the simplest way. But of course, it's the shape of the roads are different, so it's not so easy. But we can talk about that later. It's if it's interesting for you. So water, and in the phase of response, we have the pickups, but we also have airplanes. But the problem in point is that we charter them. I mean, state forest, and because of that, for example, we don't have discussion about that on the national level with the firefighters, because they are happy with that, the fact that that's our job. But we are close to the limit of the year of this, I mean, of the age of these aircraft. It's a Polish construction, PZL M18 Dromadair, so they are produced in Poland in the past, and they are still served here and all around the world. But we slowly need to, rebuild our fleet. But for us, it's a harder to do it now, because we have 40 to 50 aircrafts every year, but it's just our good willingness of state force, because it's not regulated by law that we have to make it. It's more like our I lost the word. Okay, just just 1 second to find the proper words in a Google Translator for me. Yeah, for us it's just like insurance, because we cannot insure the forest in case of forest fire in Poland. So for us, every single money invest in a forest fire prevention, preparedness, or response is kind of our own insurance. But it's slowly finished. This part of our system, it's one of the weakest points now. Uh, but for them, we organize forest airbase, and we have, yeah, many of them in the country, like with grassy runway, 100 meters, with some infrastructure to them, to the pilots, to the some warehouses, workshops, like additional water, radio, and stuff like that. And part of forest job is also education in a wild context. I mean, we educate the society in all kind of forest information about what we are doing in the forest, about animals, about the plants, something like that. And part of this is, of course, education about forest fire prevention. In the middle is a picture that from some, we call that education room, where we show how our detection is going. On the right, you have some example of a board game which we create to explain our activities in the forest. In the middle right picture, you can see the four green markers, and it's the way how you build the lookout towers. Close to that is a red skid units. So that way you collect all the points. And on the left side, it's the old one, but still existing, our mascot. So like a smoky, but we have, it's a spruce, firefighting spruce named Peppo. It's the old one. And now we discuss if we should refresh him, or maybe leave like that to make it more retro and fun. So it's kind of this discussion. And what also changed, because the most of forest is a pine forest, and we know this it's not a resilient forest in case of everything like any pest, insects, the fungi, something like that. So in the Polish forestry, we rebuilt our forest a lot by managed. Now it's a big part of the discussion about protect by doing nothing. So it's big discussion in Poland now. We see what's happened in Germany, in a mountain of hearts, and also in the Czech Republic, in the Bohemia Swiss National Park. Same in Slovenia and Macedonia. So we, as fire experts, are not happy with this decision, but it's slowly changed the paradigm of forestry management in Poland. So we will see where we'll be for a moment. But one more thing about the regulation, we have of course like a national country regulation, like forestry law, fire law, something like that. But in addition, we have in a state forest instruction of forest fire protection, and that they are detailed recommendation and guidance how to deal with forest fire on the level of forest districts. And for every forest district, with this forest management plan for 10 years, which describe all type of forestry activities, from hunting, tourism, silviculture, protection of heritage and monuments on the area. And also there is a chapter about the forest fire prevention plan, we call that. And every year we updated annually the like the rules of conduct in the events of forest fire. Like is a list of procedure what everyone should make in case of fire, with all the numbers of phone, the cryptonym of radio, maps, and risk assessment in this document. What's important, we also close cooperate with scientists. In Poland, we don't have too much of them who are focused on forest fire, but Forest Research Institute have a forest fire protection laboratory, and we build this system together since 60 years. The guys don't publish too much. They are old kind of researcher. They are not focused on points. They are focused on implemented their research to the practice. So it's hard to find their work on a ResearchGate, for example, but you can find the results of their work in our forest, because we are focused more on that. So all the methodology of risk assessment, hazard mapping or something, we developed together with there. Something was a good example, and I can share with you, is that together with the Forest Research Institute and together with the main school of fire service, now it's a fire academia. I'm a lecturer there, but a few years ago we established a postgraduate studies, like 2 semesters. It's a 1 year just about forest fire protection. It's dedicated to foresters and firefighters, but it's always like 95% of foresters and 5% of firefighter as a students. But we try to focus on the interdisciplinary point of view on the forest fire case. And on the end, I just wanna invite everyone from this group to Poland in a month from now, from 7th to 10th June 2024 in Bardo. It's a southwest part of Poland, close to the German and Czech border. To our next edition of Forest Camp, we made that a few times, and we always have Netherlands crew with us. I hope this year they will be also. I will copy the link for registration to the chat. But just to explain you what's that, we try to take all knowledge and experience from others, from other countries, but not copy and paste them. We are more focused to to look what's are the most convenience for us and what we can adapt. So when we see some hotshot groups in Europe, like they are copy the procedure of hotshots from US, so we try to not work like that. We try to use these hotshot methods and then just choose what's really work in Poland or in Central Europe. Last year, we have over 100 participants from 22 countries from 4 continents. I hope this year will be also the big success. So please register to us and send us the strong representation of Northwest countries, because would be great to have you on board. Some pictures, and just to explain the idea, we mixed all the participants from over the world with a team into the different teams, and each teams have to go in our forest and navigate with maps and find the instructors with the stations. Kiran was one of the instructors for all of forest camp since now, and then the instructor is giving the special goals, special exercise to the team. After finishing the team, they are going to another instructor, and finally we met in the camp with beers, and we are making networking. So it's like a great research conference, but without research and without conference. So it's about networking and building friendship and looking for friends before we will need them, and exchange of experts and the good practices. So from my side, that's all.